Welcome to Is It ADHD Your Life? A couple's perspective, where we unravel what it's like to live with ADHD within a relationship. And this week we're asking the question, is it ADHD or is it addiction? And we're going to unravel, I think, Adam's dark side. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I've actually got ADHD, so...
Oh, don't start this. Congratulations. I was very... So, to put it into context, you had your diagnosis.
Yep.
And...
Turns out I've got it. Surprise.
Thank God for that. Because can you imagine if they were like, I mean, I was paying them a little bit, not going to lie. Like, Adam, no, you've not got it. You're just a lazy whatever.
I would have lied. Would
you have lied to me?
No, I would have told you the truth, but to keep the podcast going, I would have lied.
Oh my God. We're officially like an ADHD, like,
yeah,
I know that before,
it is
obviously.
ADHD.
Yeah. Like, well, no.
Everything is.
No, sometimes
everything.
It's like.
No, everything.
Wait till I get to my 5-minute more today, I'm telling you. But yeah, like, I think it's amazing that now you've officially got that diagnosis and we're like, we don't have to pretend.
No.
You know what I mean? Like,
it is yeah, everybody says that, like, you can, like, self-diagnosis is all right and it's very acceptable and stuff,
Yeah.
but it is different when somebody tells you that it is.
Because do you remember when we first started this and one of our friends said to us, but how can you say this kind of thing when you don't even know if he's got it?
It was that voice she says it.
she knows who she is. But yeah, and like, I think, not that it put doubt in our mind, but it made us think at first kind of like, oh, should we be doing this? Because you've not got an official thing. But actually, screw you. I think we've done well.
Yeah.
But now you...
It is, and it's
now you
to
can put the
blame
middle
for
finger up to
everything.
Honestly, at home this week, I feel like we've just been like, oh, it's because I've got ADHD. Oh, it's my ADHD. And I wanted to punch your face. How was it? How was it getting that diagnosis?
It was...
I don't mean the process. I mean for you.
It was surprising. Okay. I don't know why.
Surprise!
There was elements of it that were surprising. The assessment took me by surprise.
Okay.
Although I was expecting most of it. I think I took me by surprise. So I was maybe a bit more emotional than I thought I would be.
Okay.
And
that took me by surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just like when he says after the assessment that I've got it, and I was like, right, and then he just leaves and you're left sitting like, what just happened? What is this?
Okay.
And then your mind starts racing and stuff, and it got a wee bit emotional.
I remember you coming into the living room and obviously you sat down and just like, well, I've got it. And I'm sure you won't mind me saying, but you started like filling up, and that happens. It's a very rare occurrence that you cry or fill with emotion. Mainly when Prince Charles says "Mama." That got you as well that time.
That was sad.
Mama. So the 2 times I've seen you cry, Prince Charles and ADHD. But yeah, and that, I think that took me by surprise, because obviously we knew that you were riddled. Yeah. And we knew that, no, but we knew that you had it.
Again, riddled, the technical term.
Yes. But I guess for you, was it not like a sense of, right, shit, what's next? Or
it was very much the what's next.
Yeah.
It's the unknown.
Yeah.
It's... going back and talking about like childhood and stuff, because I never thought there was any signs in childhood, because I wasn't up in the tables or badly behaved in school or anything. But when you actually get into it and talk about it, then there was a lot of signs, and so talking about all that and then talking about family, and so after it I was just like, what's next? All right, I've got it. He says I'll send you an email, and then just left me forever. That was 2 weeks ago.
Did it drain you as well, do you think? Do you think you felt drained afterwards?
Very much so. I think the lead up was...
Oh my God, yeah.
I was lucky that I was working the day of the assessment, so that took my mind off it. But leading right up to it, I was like, the stuff that was going through my head. What if they think I'm lying? What if they think I'm making stuff up? What if I forget what I'm going to say? It was draining.
And I've heard people say that, like, you grieve for your past. What do you think?
I haven't felt that.
Okay.
I was expecting that. And everybody says that, and they think what would have been different and what could have been, and it wasn't like that at all.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm very much it is what it is with my life, how it's went basically. But what I was surprised about, and I never realised until a week later, that it was the unknown. So see, the fact that I was left with nothing.
Yeah.
For the next week, I went off the rails, and I don't even think you know how much. But I was waiting on this big come down, and I know, right, the assessment was on the Tuesday.
Yeah.
And my next day off was the Monday.
Yeah.
My next full day off, and I think I was worried that on the Monday everything was going to hit me and it was going to be a down day, but that's not how it showed itself. Instead, I kind of went off my head a little bit inside, and I know today we're talking about addiction, so all that stuff came up where you want to just get some dopamine somewhere.
Okay.
And then after talking it through with somebody, I realised that it was the unknown. It was that I'd just been left. You've got ADHD. I'll send you an email. We got the email. We filled it in, and then nothing.
Yeah.
They don't talk to you. They don't tell you how long you're waiting.
Do you think that's part of the process?
Oh, honestly, I think we'll go through that in great detail in the bonus episode about how badly designed the whole thing is.
Yeah.
But it's the unknown. So they say you can apply for medication, which I did the next day.
And you've heard nothing.
They don't even give you a confirmation to say we got that email.
So now you're panicking, oh my God, have I done it right?
Yeah. So that is a bad bit about it. That hit me hard.
So obviously you mentioned just then about the bonus episode. We're going to go into the process, aren't we, in the bonus episode, about what happened and what you went through and stuff, which will give people more of an insight if they're going down that road. From my perspective, because obviously this is a couple's perspective, I always knew what was going to come. So you obviously know that they're going to tell you, oh, you've got ADHD. And I think... even though I was hoping, no, I'm joking. But for me, I think that I felt a sense of relief for you, but then I was also in a bit of a panic because I'm thinking, right, how's he going to react to this? Because I didn't want you. Sorry, there's a fly flying around. I didn't want you to go on a downer thinking about the past. So I'm thinking, right, what can I do to make sure that doesn't happen? And I didn't want you to. I don't know, just like start blaming everything on ADHD, and I'm thinking, right, how can I stop that from happening?
At least I've not done that.
but yeah, like for me, I think I'm just glad that it's happened now, and I'm worry. Is that the right word? Worry about the next steps because I'm thinking about how that medication is what it's going to do to you. And change you or change?
So, cure me. You mean cure?
Ain't no medication enough to cure you.
I think I went into overdrive with watching you and watching your face and watching your reactions to stuff. And I think it hit you harder than I was expecting. And tell me more. I just think you had a bigger reaction than I thought you would, where you kind of went in it yourself, and I could see your mind working overdrive. I
think it's just thinking about what's to come, like the future, and that worries me a little bit.
Specifically,
like, what if you turn into a bit of a recluse? What if you're not as fun anymore? What if we don't go to town anymore?
That's all about
what if you start being stricter with money? What's the fun in the I'm joking? No, but things like what if you do turn into a bit of a recluse, or what if you lose loads of weight and go really hot? And I'm.
It's a danger. I get it.
Well, I think I'm scared of the unknown.
And I think that's what it is. That's
my biggest thing as well is, what if the medication doesn't work? Because what would that do to you?
Interesting.
Because I think you're relying a lot on this changing you.
That's also interesting because, you know, I was. And after the diagnosis, I think I predicted this, and it's exactly how it felt, that this whole thing has been a massive build-up to that day.
Yeah.
And then after that day, it was kind of like, right, okay. And it disappeared a bit.
Do you think maybe it's because, like, now you are diagnosed, it's like, oh, gutted. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
people say that if you aim for something, if you set yourself targets and then you reach that target, then it's what now? That's very much what it felt like. The what now? And it took a lot of the emphasis off it, I think. I think I've concentrated on it so long that I was waiting for that answer, and I got it, and I was like, okay.
I think I'm worried about us as well. Like, what might it do to us?
Mm-hmm. But this is all assuming that I went on medication, and
but I know you want it.
I'm trying it, definitely.
So, but obviously, I mean, like, you would think that we've been through a lot together, so you would think that this would.
So you're just thick and thin, you're through boring, Adam, and you have a sensible life. Don't make any rash decisions.
I don't know. Maybe I don't want you to fall out of love with me.
Have you saved this for the pod? This seems like a behind closed doors conversation.
I'm embarrassed now. I'm embarrassed. So needy.
This brings us on to today's topic nicely.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Because
I like the way you're skipping that.
I'm just, no, I think it's more the other way about, to be honest. I think you're worried that what if you don't like me, if I'm this boring guy?
Absolutely not.
Oh, well, we'll be fine then. Everything's good.
But it does bring us on to today's topic.
Yes, because for the past, since ADHD was first mentioned, it's quite distracting.
So annoying.
Since it was first mentioned, I think I forgot about that whole addiction thing.
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah,
I like
you're
stuff.
An addict. Yeah. So we've been putting this off.
Yeah.
And I think that's because I don't think. Tell me why. Actually, you tell me why.
Well, it's been such a massive part of my life, and it took over me for so long, and there's a lot of not nice stuff involved in it, so it's not really something that I wanted to go into, but I think it's important that we do.
Okay.
And since ADHD was mentioned, I think that I thought, well, that's what's caused it. That's what's caused all the addiction issues with everything my whole life. So if I can sort that out, and if I can take this magic tablet, then I won't get these impulsive feelings anymore.
Then I can have a pint.
No, absolutely not. Never. But I thought that's what was causing it, and this diagnosis would mean that I was cured and I wouldn't get. And that has hit me very hard the past 2 weeks, that I need to realise that it's two separate things.
Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that, because I've got some research that I've done where there are similarities but there are differences as well, and it's about going through them. Can I start off with this? Good start, Donna. Research has shown that about 21% of boys and men with ADHD abuse drugs or alcohol. People with ADHD may be inclined to abuse drugs or alcohol to make up for the lack of dopamine in their brains, as they have lower levels of the chemical than people who don't have ADHD. I thought that was really interesting, because I think it's very low. Like, I thought it would be higher than that.
I thought it would be higher, yeah.
But 21%?
So last week I actually Googled, again, you don't know this, my head's been running overdrive for 2 weeks and I've kept it quiet.
I think I'm not really seeing you.
Well, true. But I Googled, do all addicts have ADHD? And it basically says no. And I was shocked at the reply, and it did say where people with ADHD are more susceptible to addiction.
Yeah.
It's certainly not. It's not the case.
It's not a cause.
No, it's not that every person with ADHD is an addict. And so not every person with ADHD is an addict, and not everybody with addiction issues has ADHD.
That's a tongue twister.
And that is. But I was surprised at how low it is, because I genuinely thought...
Did you just assume that everyone...
Everybody. I was diagnosing everybody. So, like, at the beginning of this, when I would go to meetings and stuff, I'm like, definitely got it. ADHD. They've all got it. Everybody to get
the guy sat in home and bagging. He's like, sniffing some cocaine. You've got ADHD, mate.
Put that in the pipe. It's ADHD.
Cured.
Oh, but it turns out it's not.
No.
That's hit me hard.
Because you've got both.
Yeah.
Just as like a bit of like a disclaimer, obviously we're not medically trained. This is just our experience and your experience, I should say. Sorry, about this. Go on.
No, on go.
You were going to say something?
No, I was just going to say also disclaimer. You never met Drunk Adam.
Oh, and the stories that you've told me, I would have hated Drunk Adam. Hated him.
No, he wasn't a very nice guy. Quite fun though.
You say fun,
loud.
Sounds annoying.
Very
sounds
annoying,
very
yeah.
annoying. He's not somebody that I would... And I think when I'm drunk, I think I can be a little bit annoying. It's funny, actually, because at a recent party we went to, I was a little bit squiffy. It was actually towards the start of the year. And you told me the day after I was getting annoying. And I thought to myself, afterwards, I thought, that was no more annoying than what you were when you were drunk.
Oh, absolutely not.
You'd be worse.
Oh, nowhere near that scale.
Yeah.
But the only reason I say that was because that was the first time you've ever been annoying when drunk. And all the time we've been together, you're normally fine. You're normally all right, and I can handle it. But that one night was,
I don't even know what I did wrong.
No, neither did I. Can't remember.
Okay, so there's an overlap of ADHD and addiction. I'm just going to go through some of the same things that came up, okay? So, the dopamine connection. So, with ADHD, you're searching for that dopamine all the time. And then with addiction, that kind of gives you that dopamine, maybe. Talk to me about that.
So, I never knew. All I know is that, obviously, my problem was drinking. And I started drinking very young. Too young. Kids, far too young. But since the first time I drank, and I remember the first time I drank well, I drank to get drunk.
Okay.
I was a blackout drunk, so I drank to the point where I never remembered.
Okay.
But I was also around people where I thought that was normal. I thought if you woke up the next day and didn't remember the night before, then that was a good night. You've done something right. You've nailed it. And it wasn't until I was in my 30s that I realised not everybody done that.
That's not normal.
I genuinely thought until my 30s everybody done that. If you went out to get blackout drunk where you didn't remember anything. And that's what I done from the very first 3 litre of cider I drank at a young age.
And did that give you a dopamine hit then?
Of course. I was full of... weird doing the job that I do where I'm an entertainer, but I'm so full of social anxiety that
huge.
It's unbelievable. I hate being in groups. I hate meeting new people. I can't answer the phone. So drinking gave me this confidence and gave me this boost that must have been dopamine, and gave me the confidence to talk to people and be normal and fit in.
But then what about the day after?
So in the beginning, again, I thought it was normal. So this hangover, the sickness, which I always suffered from really badly, the sickness, the sore heads, it was bad, but I thought it was all just part of it. That's because you had a good night last night, and when you were young, it would go away that day, and it was fine. It was all right. You would get back on it, and I was good at that.
So it's all about getting back on it and searching for that next dopamine. Do you think in your head you ever thought, oh, actually, I'm a different person and I prefer this person? Like, there were two different Adams. There was like sober Adam, and then there was drunk Adam. So sober Adam, social anxiety; drunk Adam, life and soul of the party.
I don't think I put 2 and 2 together at a young age.
Okay.
So when I was young, it was just I was doing it for fun.
Okay.
My pals were doing it. I was doing it a lot more. I was getting more drunk than anybody around about me.
Yeah.
I was making a fool of myself a lot more than the people around about me. But I thought it was normal. People would be talking about me. I'd wake up the next day, I would have anxiety for days about the stuff that I'd done, the stuff that I'd said. And it was horrific, but I thought it was normal.
Yeah.
So my mum was an alcoholic, and she had to have a drink when she woke up in the morning just to get through the day. So I always thought, I've not got a problem with drink, because I don't wake up every morning thinking that I need that. I was never a daily drinker, not until the very end. So it wasn't a problem. It was just, I liked getting drunk. I was like a lot of people around about me. So I thought it was normal. It was never a problem, and that was it. And it continued like that until I moved to Blackpool, and there I probably learned how to drink properly. But again, it was only once a week, so I only had one day off a week. I was only drinking once a week.
Right, okay.
But that one drink was
enough for like 7 days.
You're talking, you blow everything, you blow your whole week's wages, you cause all sorts of trouble, all sorts of mayhem, and then go back to work the next day as if everything's normal. I
think people assume that like alcoholism is with somebody who gets up and drinks all day every day.
You're under a bridge with a brown paper bag.
But it's not. It's more than that. There's other kind of like.
It's the not being able to stop once you start.
Yeah.
So I cannot have one drink.
Yeah.
Because that means I've got to get drunk. If I have one drink, I'm having 10 drinks.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
But that brings me on to my next thing then, because you're not only addicted to alcohol, like binge eating is the same thing, isn't it? You can't just have one biscuit, you've got to have the full packet.
So somebody once says to me that their drug of choice was more, and nothing has ever, I've never related to anything so much in my whole life, because that is exactly it.
Yeah.
And that's where I think the dopamine comes in.
Okay.
That is the biscuits, as you say. You have some biscuits, you need all the biscuits. You have 1 pint, you need all the pints. You put £1 in a machine, you put your whole wages and everything that's in your bank in a machine.
Yeah.
It's that more. You need the more. And I think that's where the ADHD bit comes in, with the dopamine and the chasing more.
Yeah. What about impulsivity and compulsivity?
So
the trouble delaying gratification.
Yeah, we've spoken about that loads. It's I need that now.
Yeah.
I need that hit now. And as I progressed through my drinking, and everything was impulsive, so you made decisions, snappy decisions like that. I'm doing that now. I'm done. And then the drinking became from once a day to most days, but it would just be a couple of pints most days.
Did anyone ever say to you like, "Oh, you've had enough now, Adam"?
Again, many times, but it was never a problem, because I was binge drinking.
Okay.
I wasn't drinking all the time. I was getting drunk and making a fool of myself for weekends at a time, but then be normal Monday to Friday, and then doing the same again the following week, and it was all Adam's out, Adam's on it, Adam's. Oh, but honestly, the states that I would get in and the stuff that I would do is just absolutely terrible. Not until a good few years passed of me doing this constantly, and I had tried to stop completely, but I thought, that's boring. No, everybody round about me was still drinking.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to be boring. I'm not going to be that guy. Until a few years later, and I was working in a pub, and I'll never forget this, that I used to judge the people. So the pub would open at, say, I think it was 10 o'clock in the morning. I would judge the people that were coming in at 10 o'clock to drink, right? Until one morning, a guy came in and offered me his can of like meal. So you can get a meal in a can.
Like full breakfast in a can?
Yeah, you can get a breakfast in a can, and it's for people that have got like issues that aren't eating.
Okay.
And so this is a way to get some vitamins into them. He offered me it because the state I was in, opening the bar. he came in with this can of breakfast for me, and I was like, oh, I might have taken this a bit too far. Oh, and there was so many stories about how it had taken over me. It had taken over me. So by the time I left Blackpool, tried so many times to be a normal drinker and tried to be like everybody else and drink on a Friday night, but I just always took it too far. And there was so many rock bottoms, so many stories that I thought, right, I'm stopping this. And I'm going to go to a meeting, I'm going to go to a fellowship. And I did. And I went for 10 months, and I was going in, I was the last person in the room, and I was the first person to leave the room, and I never spoke to anybody because I'm so socially awkward. And I felt so out of place, and I just didn't feel like I belonged or anything. It was horrible. But I went for 10 months, and I stayed 10 months sober, and that was the longest I'd ever not drank. And everything was fine. And then I went away to work for a while, and I thought, sometime in that work, I thought, I'll just have one. One will be fine, that'll be all right. And that led to probably the worst 2 years of my life. And that is when it got proper out of control. That is when I was drinking all the time. I was getting into bother. There was police involvement. There was... I left my family at the time. I went and I lived in a caravan because a caravan's the best place to drink. You're in a field with people that drink round about you.
It's like you're on holiday.
You're on holiday every day, and it was amazing until it wasn't. And there was bad times in that caravan where I was in horrific states, and it wasn't fun anymore. It became, I was drinking against my will. I didn't want to drink, and every day I was trying to stop drinking, and every day I couldn't. And I was going to work, because I work in pubs, it was acceptable to go in and have a pint while I was working and stay afterwards and have another pint. I wasn't working till 6 o'clock at night, so I was fine. The next day I would lie in bed for days at a time. And then one night I was in work, and I was very friendly with somebody that worked in a bar. And the next morning, she said, I was DJing, and the next morning she says to me, Adam, do you know how many pints you had last night at work? And I said, no. She says, 16. You had 16 pints last night while you were working. That was me DJing. And it just got so badly out of control where I lost everything. I was alone, I was lonely, I was in a horrible mess, and that is when I thought, I need to do something about this. And I went back to meetings, and it was the best thing I ever done. And I was scared that everybody round about me, everybody in the caravan site would be thinking, oh, he's boring now, he's stopped drinking, why has he done that? So
that's where the ADHD comes in as well then, for the paranoia of what people think about you and stuff like that.
I'm worried about everybody round about me and thinking, but in reality I stopped drinking, and every single one of them, without no exception, says, yeah, I think you're right. I think you've done the right thing, and I think it's about time. And everybody round about me, and I was so shocked. I'm like, what do you mean? I've been fine. No, you have not been fine, Adam. And throughout the whole thing, I kept. Oh, sorry, apologies, professional. I kept working. It never, certainly, certain parts about it never affected that side of things. A lot of pub work it affected, because I was just not turning up, or it was a mess. I was a mess. And I started going to meetings, and best thing I've ever done. I got involved with people, I got talking to people, I got proper involved in it, and it was different from the first time I went, because I was doing it for me. I realised I had hit bottom. I was ready. You could see it and ready. I went in shaking. I was physically, from the guy that never thought I could have a problem with alcohol, I had the shakes. I remember going into a meeting and picking up a cup of tea and going right back to my seat with that cup of tea. I was in a bad way. And these people were amazing. They helped me so much, and it changed my life. It changed everything. Everything turned round. Obviously, then with COVID, and there was a lockdown for that whole time. Had I not been at meetings before COVID, I don't know what would have happened during that time, because
there was nothing else to do but drink for a lot of people.
Absolutely nothing. Everybody found drink at that time. When I was trying to cut it out of my life, and I had stopped. And had it not been for meetings, I don't know where I would have been after COVID. So it changed my whole life. And gradually, I've now been sober for 6 years, which is unbelievable. And then, as I say, back to the original point, that, sorry, I know I've went off on one, but
it's interesting.
When the ADHD thing came around, I backed off from meetings. It happened at the same time as we had a baby and stuff, so life got very busy, but I backed off from meetings and maybe stopped talking to some of the people that I was speaking to before. And that's hit me hard. So I've maybe been out of that for a couple of years, and it has come back with a vengeance. And it's not drink. It's not, I don't want to drink. I'll do other stupid stuff. That is when the eating comes in. That is when gambling comes in. That is when doing anything that will hit that dopamine, that will give you that buzz. And that's what I was searching for. And then just get back to a meeting, Adam.
Yeah. That was my next thing to ask. Like, so obviously you went to the fellowship and stopped drinking, but then did other addictions creep up? Are you addicted to other stuff? So, for example, we know you're a bit of a binge eater, so that can be classed as an addiction. Gambling. Would you say you're addicted to gambling?
I would say I am a problem gambler.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say I'm addicted to gambling, because I don't. It's not the same as drink was. It's not the same as. Although there has been times where, I wake up in the morning thinking about it if I'm deep into it, but no, I don't. I don't know.
Okay.
I think when I stopped drinking, I have realised, and it took me a long, long time to realise, that I substituted it for gambling.
This is what I meant. Did other stuff creep in, kind of?
So instead of standing at the bar having a pint, because I'm always in pubs, to avoid that interaction with people, I would go and stand at the machine.
Yeah.
And then you would just be standing, and then that would take over, and so for that escapism and that avoidance, that has been a problem. Even now, I couldn't put a tenner on the machine.
So we've had times where we like a little bit of a flutter on a little game, and I've been like, oh, no more, and I've had to walk away, get you to walk away,
prize me away, it's
drag
different.
you away, because I know when it's done, but you would stick an extra 20 in because you're looking. You don't even want to win.
No, it's not.
It's just the excitement of doing it, and that's
it's
where I think
exactly
the ADHD rears its ugly head, because you just want that excitement to keep going, and you're going to come on a downer afterwards. Whereas me, I can just walk away and be like, right, we're done now. I've had enough.
I've been in situations where I've stood at a machine with rent money in my pocket and put all of that rent money in and been in my last tenner, and that has gave me maybe 3/4 of it back, and I've left happy, because I was so low that picked me up a bit to just walk away with something. And it's that high and low you crave, that high and low you crave, the buzz. There's something about the losing as well. There's a feeling in that you can go for.
So from my perspective, the losing is awful. And if we go to bingo example, for example, and I walk away, can't believe we didn't win anything. Oh God, I feel sick. But that don't bother you?
No, I was all about the experience. I would rather, so take bingo for an example, I would rather be waiting for one number than win it.
That's crazy. Why would you not want to win? Do you know what I mean?
I love that feeling, the anticipation, the what if, the waiting for it.
That's where we are completely different. Completely different.
And then when they say you've won, you're like, right, okay.
Sometimes I worry that I'm a little bit of an enabler.
You're not. You're not a little bit of an enabler. You are 100% an enabler.
And then it questions me. It questions like our relationship, because I question like, oh my God, am I the right person for you? Because should you be with somebody who's like no and says no to you? And
No. Because you enable me to an extent. But you've got limits.
Yeah.
I've not got limits. You've got limits, and you will
you've
stop.
Got ADHD and I've not officially.
But you'll stop things before they get out of hand or whatever.
Yeah.
Whereas I would stand and
Put all our money in.
Yeah, I would put all the money in. I would drink until there was no other option.
Yeah.
There's other stuff as well that I couldn't get into because I know how good it would be and how addicted I would be to it. So it's everything that my drug of choice is more that will always stick with me.
No matter what it is.
No matter if it is good, if it gives you some sort of buzz, then I want all it.
Last overlap is emotional regulation. So both can lead to numbing behaviours. And we've kind of just touched on that, like exactly what it is, because you could stand at a machine and completely be numb to the world around you, that you're just concentrating on.
Same with drinking. The drinking, you're drinking to numb emotions. Yeah. You drink if you're sad. You drink if you're happy, to celebrate stuff. And drinking is so socially acceptable. That was the hard thing for me to get my head around.
Yeah.
Where I thought everybody was going to think I was boring.
Yeah.
So you would stand with a non-alcoholic beer or whatever just to pretend that you were. Nobody cares.
No.
And I will always say that. That is my one advice to anybody that is trying to stop drinking in particular. Nobody cares if you're not drinking.
But you say that, nobody cares. However, I know that you probably still think, oh, they're going to judge me. Even though you're saying that now, you're telling people nobody cares. But actually, I bet deep inside you probably think, I'm still getting judged.
I don't now. No, I don't think I get judged for not drinking, but I think that I get judged for. So, say if we're at a party, which is my worst now,
which upsets me because I love a party.
And I used to love a party. It turns out that was cider. But now getting into a party, I'm worried I'm getting judged because I'm boring.
Right.
So I'm worried that everybody judging me, especially people that knew old Adam that was dancing in tables.
Yeah.
So now they're like, well, why is he just sitting there like drinking his Coke or what? That is what I'm worried about, but not the actual not drinking thing. That doesn't bother me.
When I was younger, I used to go out and not drink, and I would go out and dance all night, and it was so I could be a little taxi for my friends and stuff, and I would drive, and I don't need a drink to have fun. Do you know what I mean? Like I think I'm quite fun without a drink.
Yes, you are.
Used to be.
No, you are. You still are.
And I don't think that I need a drink to go out and dance and stuff, and it's weird, isn't it? Like how
you couldn't do that. Need drink to have fun.
Basically, I've signed up for a license
that is absolutely not true. What I just said isn't true. We have fun doing different stuff.
Yeah.
What I mean is, in that atmosphere, going into a party, I'm not going to get up and dance. I'm not going to be the life and soul, because that's...
But you don't have to be the life and soul of the party. You can just still get up and have a dance.
No, because everybody's watching me.
So what are you going to do on our first dance
I'm
then?
No, we've not discussed this yet. We'll get to that.
Oh my God, I've done a revelation.
But it's so difficult, and that's where the social anxiety comes in, the thinking what everybody's thinking about you, and that's all going to be ADHD, I think.
Of course it is, yeah.
Or is it addiction? Or is it both? It is both.
Well, let's have a look at how they differ. So, choice versus compulsion. So, ADHD equal difficulty with executive functions, but addiction, compulsive use despite harm.
Can you see that first bit again, please?
Choice versus compulsion.
Yeah.
So, ADHD equals difficulties with executive functions, but addiction is compulsive use despite harm. So with your addiction, you do it even though it's going to harm you.
Yeah.
Whereas like the ADHD, you have difficulty stopping doing stuff. But you could stop it if you're like with the alcohol, for example. Do you know what I'm saying?
So I think you have a choice. You have a choice to do the first of anything.
Okay.
So you've got a choice to take that first drink.
Yeah.
You've got a choice to spend that first 10 on the machine. you've got a choice to eat the first biscuit. But sometimes the urge can be, and the craving can be so overpowering.
Okay.
That
you don't have a choice.
To the extent the choice is taken away from you.
Okay.
So that's where the choice comes in. After that, there is no choice. So
once you start, there is no choice to stop because you can't stop.
There's no stopping. That's why we joke, and I always say about me being all or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That is it. I am all or nothing.
So that's the ADHD then, surely?
Or the addiction.
Yeah. But then, like, I can... I know I don't have ADHD. I'm not an addict, but, like, I can stop.
Yeah, I cannot. So, like, if we're calorie counting, I say to you, I can't eat chocolate.
Yeah.
It's because literally something happens in my brain. My brain is different from your brain.
Yeah.
Because I've got ADHD.
Officially.
But my brain is different. Something lights up in my brain when I have that one bar of chocolate that I want all the chocolate.
Yeah.
I can't just have that one bit. I can't have that one pint. I want all it. And I keep saying all it. I like that. Mm-hmm. But that is the difference it's the difference in an addict's brain, and must be the difference, the dopamine thing with ADHD. So,
do you think you've got it worse because you're an addict and you've got ADHD?
Yeah, I'm the worst it can get. Worst case ever.
Worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Okay, response to treatment. So ADHD responds to structure, medication, therapy, and addiction often requires recovery approaches. So that's where they're different as well.
Yes, and I think that's where I've went wrong the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Is I've took a step away from the recovery side of things. I've now been doing counselling, and there's medication that I take, and that helps with some of the stuff. But I think for the recovery aspect, you need to be doing some kind of recovery activity.
Okay. Pattern recognition. So ADHD chasing stimulation across many areas versus addiction narrowing focus to one substance or behaviour. So that's where they're different.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's just like a light bulb moment that hit you there, wasn't it? In your head.
Because the addiction would be the alcohol, where I could not stop drinking. Whereas that part of it is just seeking that hit somewhere else without actually focusing on the one thing. Yeah.
And then obviously you're chasing in stimulation in other, like, lots of different places, aren't you? Mm-hmm. And then last one, the functional impact. So addiction often escalates in severity. ADHD is lifelong and more variable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, without a doubt, addiction is progressive. That's what I very briefly tried to get across there. That I started thinking I was normal having a drink to the point where I couldn't stop drinking. It progressed that much where it affected every aspect of my life. Whereas the ADHD, once you learn that you've got that, and you do just need to kind of deal with it, put structures in place, put things in place that will help you.
From my perspective, I worry, I've already said, obviously, I worry that I'm a bit of an enabler. Mm-hmm. However, I'm very glad that I can stop and say no. Yeah. And drag you away from it. But I feel guilty every time that happens. And I know I shouldn't because it's for the greater good. Uh-huh. But I feel like it's a lot of pressure on me. And the guilt is a lot because I'm taking you away from something that I know you're enjoying.
That's interesting. And I don't know how we would get round that, because
I don't think we will. I think that's just life, and I think that's just...
It's 100% not something you should feel guilty about, because that is something that needs to... it
needs to happen.
Yeah, I'll do everything to excess. So it doesn't matter what it is. If it's good, I'm doing it to excess. So for you to step in and say, right, that's it.
But I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the ogre that's like, no, you can't do this.
You're not the ogre, you're the one that realises there's stuff outside whatever.
No, I get that. But
I don't think you're bad.
Okay.
I've never once thought, oh, you're bad or you're boring or you're... Never.
The boring thing bothers me as well.
Absolutely not. I've never ever thought you were boring, ever. I think, I mean, maybe at the time I'll be like, ugh.
But see?
But 5 minutes later, well done, you done well there. Good one.
I remember you told me, actually, that you had secretly walked up to the betting shop near where we live and done whatever you're doing there, and you'd done that a few times and never told me. And I then panicked that, oh my God, he's not going to stop doing that. Oh my God, how do I stop him? I'm going to have to lock the house and just get out. Honestly, like the things that went through my head. Sometimes I think you put me through a lot. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
It must be difficult. It is difficult.
I think it's just, it's not difficult. It's just, it's like having a child, isn't it? Like a man-child.
It's your new favourite song.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Thank you, Sabrina Carpenter. But it is like having a man-child, and
the good news is, and that's another good thing about recovery, it keeps you honest.
Oh my God, never met a more honest person.
I'm more honest now than I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
And that is thanks to being in recovery.
Yeah.
And you need to. You can't live in secrets. You can't have secrets bubbling away or that.
Well, that's why you told me.
Yeah.
Because I know that obviously you did it at first in secret kind of thing, but you told me, and that's because you couldn't hide it. And I do think that's probably one of your greatest traits, we say. Okay. Do you think untreated ADHD contributes to addictive behaviour?
100%.
My last final question.
100%. I think I now know that I think I've been self-medicating.
Okay.
Through whatever I try and do, it's self-medicating.
Yeah.
Which then you start self-medicating, then the addictive side of, because all these things are designed to be addictive.
Yeah, yeah.
Alcohol is addictive.
Yeah.
Gambling's addictive. Sugar's addictive. So these things can grab you in. So it can start as self-medicating and then lead to addiction.
Thank you. What a great line to end on.
Yeah.
Deep. When we probably could talk about this for hours and hours and hours. Okay then. So before we go on to our 5-minute moan, we had an email through, and I'm going to read that email out if that's okay. And it's a bit of a grass email, if I'm honest.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so this came in. I have just been watching ADHD, or am I allergic to housework? And I would like to inform you, I'm assuming that's informing me, that before coming into the house some days after school, my dad informs me, my sister and my brother that we have jobs. It is normally I do the living room, Kaylee, my sister, looks after Theo, my brother, whilst he does the dishes because he has not done the jobs during the day. How do you plead?
Guilty, very guilty.
Thank you for that email, Cameron. So that's obviously your 11-year-old son, and I love the fact that he emailed in to like snitch on you. Basically, I'm at work and this is what's happening before I come in.
So that is a day in the life of ADHD, because that is paralysis during the day. Yeah. Half an hour, you're due back. Right. Yeah. Everybody help me out, and it's body doubling, so they're with me, and then in that half an hour, I get a full day's work done with the help of the children. Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yes, like 11, 16, and not even 2 yet. And
it could be worse. I could be drunk.
True story. All right, okay, let's go on to our 5-minute moan. Start?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I'm not sure if this is ADHD or just laziness.
Okay.
But I'm not sure why when people, mainly you, take a towel off the we have a towel rack, and some towels have just fell on the floor. Why'd you walk away and leave them and not put them back?
They're all the way down on the floor.
Oh my God, it's not that hard to pick them up and put them on the shelf.
No, because when they lie on the floor and then something happens and somebody folds them all up nice and puts them on that thing.
Honestly, I can't tell you how much it grates on me. However, right, so it happened last week. And I told Kaylee about it, right, and I was like, this is going to be my 5-minute one this week. But what I'm understanding is it ADHD? I think it's just laziness, because he's just walked away and left it. And then, do you know what happened?
What?
Cameron did it.
It's ADHD.
So then I thought to myself, they're going to both blame it on ADHD.
Look, sometimes when you live in an official neurodiverse household...
Honestly, so many things I want to say to you right now, but I can't because it's not suitable.
And in my defence, you are so much better at folding them up and making that thing all neat. I can't do that. I would just scrunch and throw.
I'd rather you scrunch and throw. Don't leave them on the floor.
Okay. I hear you.
Thank you.
Okay. I would like a separate box for my work towels. Well, no, I've got a slight sweating problem that I take a towel to work with me for the parties.
No. You have one towel per party.
Yes. So I would like a separate box for those towels, please.
Okay, where are you keeping this box?
In my organised workstation.
Where is that?
I don't know, I'll make it.
So I'm all right with you having a box of your towels, okay, that's not with the big towels. However, I guarantee you, them towels will never come in and get washed. Them towels will never make it to that box. So let's pretend it's going to happen.
Okay.
I hear you.
Okay.
You can do that, babe. That's absolutely fine.
Okay.
Guaranteed by the next episode, that will not have happened.
Okay.
But great idea.
Okay.
Great
Let's
idea.
discuss socks.
No, you've actually had your moan.
No, I've not had a moan.
That was just your moan.
What?
About the towel, about the...
No, that was your moan. I think you don't upset me on mic.
Oh, so that was a carry-on of my moan.
That was your moan. I never moaned there.
I thought you were moaning about the fact that you wanted a box for your
No,
towel.
I suggested maybe a box would help out your moan. My moan, let's talk about socks.
Okay.
You've got one job. We've discussed this on many occasions. I do the washing. I dry the washing.
No.
Yes. I'm getting better again. Dry the washing. I've not been so good at folding it into piles recently, which I'll take and I'll start folding them into piles again. But you do not just take 500 white socks and throw them in a drawer and say, oh, they're all white. No, they're all different socks.
No, they're not.
They are all different socks. They all come from different pairs. Some of them are a nice shade of grey. Some of them are a dark shade of grey. You can't just put all the socks in that drawer and then it puts 20 minutes in my getting ready routine.
20 minutes?
Yes.
Why should I sit there and purr your socks up?
Because it's the only job you've got in the washing process. You're listening to my voice, I'm upset.
I hear you.
Uh-huh.
I will start purring the socks, the white
Thank you.
socks.
Thank you.
It's a big pile on the couch at the minute as
Yes.
well. Okay, I will purr them as long as you don't lose them, because I don't know what you do with your white socks.
No
but-
promises. I think somebody steals them. Somebody steals white socks and forks out of our house.
Forks.
Forks?
I thought you said fox, like the,
No,
the animal.
no, forks.
Forks.
Somebody steals these items and that's nothing to do with me.
If you look under our bed, there's all white socks and forks.
That one is a bra. Imagine looking under a bed. Oh.
No, thank you. Okay, I hear you, and that's what I'll start doing, okay, from today.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So the last segment of our podcast is our good, bad and ugly, and we get you to send in your stories about ADHD, whether they are good, bad or ugly, and you can send them to the email address that's on the screen now.
Smooth.
Yeah. So I've got some stories about addiction, which I thought was a nice theme this week.
Yeah.
So this is people who've obviously got ADHD and have got addictions to stuff. The end one, it made me laugh a lot. However, so this person says, never to any drugs, but those shitty mobile games have completely consumed my life for weeks. So far, meds have helped me notice and cut myself off. So this person has gone on to meds and they've decided and they've made them realise that actually playing mobile games.
Been there. Pool. Credits. Sneaky money. $3.99 for a pack. And you done it with Candy Crush. So don't you get me sorry. It's very serious.
So another one, never alcohol or drugs, but I have addictive tendencies with food, spending, gaming. So that's another thing. Gaming's a big one for people. I'm so thankful that you're not.
I'm so glad.
Meds really help because I'm a lot less impulsive, which is brilliant. 9 years sober, amazing, well done. They were a binge drinker. They've got ADHD and they've got no idea how they manage before meds. They've only been taking them for a month, but they've never felt so normal. Lol.
So that's the worry, isn't it? The worry is that, like, I put in my head that I think I'm going to take this tablet and never get an urge to do anything bad again. And I think that's what I need to get out of my head.
Absolutely.
Because it could help, and it could help with urges for all these things. But I don't know that, so that's why I think it's important to get back into the recovery.
Yes, I have had substance abuse issues for well over a decade now. I went undiagnosed until later in life. They're in the 30s and they used drugs to self-medicate for years. Every symptom they were making fit the criteria in the ADHD assessment and suddenly made so much sense. Sorry, they're currently properly medicated and just took 6 months clean last week.
Amazing.
Amazing. This is the last one. This was my favourite. I am 2 years sober from gummy sweets.
No judgment. I get it.
Many people, I think this is me, many people laugh at me when I say that, but it was a full-blown addiction that ruled my life. I used to find excuses to leave the house to go buy some. I would buy 2 to 3 bags at a time and literally shovel handfuls at a time into my mouth. I would then have to try and hide the wrappers from my family. I was just so ashamed. When I asked the doctor for help, they just said there's worse things I could be addicted to, or I should just use the willpower and cut down. How bad is that? I was diagnosed with ADHD 4 months ago. I'm put on medication, which has mostly removed my sugar cravings.
That's amazing.
So a lot of them were obviously about like the fact that they went into medication and it changed what happened. So
I think there's so much bad advice out there as well from even doctors. Some doctors don't understand addiction, and some doctors, some organisations will try and wean you off. So they'll say like, oh, maybe just count how many drinks you've had, count how many bags of sweets you've had. It's still serious.
Yeah.
And it's not that, because it's that once you start, you can't stop. So there's no controlled drinking or controlled. It's all or nothing.
Thank you for our listeners for sending them in. So I just want to point out, I just want to tell everyone that from next time, so we're going to go to 30-minute episodes, aren't we?
Weekly.
We're going to come out once a week, 30 minutes, and we're very excited to like shake it up a little bit.
We wanted this one to be the last long one because it's such a big subject that I've been avoiding since we started. So we wanted it to be the last long one that.
And I think it'll probably come up again. Because it's always there, isn't it? Don't forget to follow us on our socials.
On the socials.
Like, subscribe, follow, comment, message us. All our socials are below.
And if anybody is struggling, whether it's ADHD or alcohol, gambling, get in touch. Sometimes it can just be a case of talking to somebody.
Absolutely.
And if that's us, then just give us an email or whatever. And as we say, not experts or anything, but just somebody to listen.
Sometimes it's nice to talk to
can
someone
sometimes
human,
help.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much. Thanks very much as well for obviously being so, I don't know what the word is.
Vulnerable?
Yes. Being so vulnerable. I know you'll dread this on Friday. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.